G'day friends, just wanted to make this video very quickly. Are you watching the politics of the US, the current situation with the presidential race coming to a close very soon? And it's heating up, isn't it? But there seems to be a clear winner this time, and as it was possibly the last time, but let's say the last time was question mark over the legal process of everything. This time, though, we're seeing some strange movement, a strong movement that's a little bit strange, yet it's heading towards a victory for the one that wants to stand up for law and order. This is quite significant because law and order is what Jehovah God gave to the nation of Israel. And the nation of Israel benefited when they lived under and were obedient to the laws and following through on those laws that Jehovah gave the nation of Israel. It is said of him in Isaiah 33:22, "For Jehovah is our judge, Jehovah is our statute giver, Jehovah is our king, he himself will save us." And it's very important to understand that Jehovah is a legal God, a God of legalities. Some people don't like that, but that's what he is. And under this nation, he was, this nation had a executive, a legislative, and a judicial system. And the power and the authority came from above. And then systems were put in place that reflected that. And as you can see from Isaiah's account, this way he looked at the way he is viewed as the judge, the lawgiver, and the statute giver. And the nations around benefited when they applied similar principles in their constitutions. And so what we're seeing now with Trump really pushing law and order, we're starting to see more a reflection of the divine rulership of Yahweh or Jehovah that would reflect a more positive outcome in this system. Now I say this system because this system is made up of rules and regulation, laws and orders. And you see what happens when you deviate from that. You get a lot of curses and sickness and illness, and eventually a lot of deaths occurring when you deviate from what is constitutionally based system that is reflecting Jehovah's mindset. He gave this to the nation of Israel so they could stand out and benefit. And when those nations, when that nation applied his rules, they benefited. And what we see now is Donald Trump, in a way, bringing into its system something that has been lacking over the last 4 years. Now, I'm not a political person at all, in that as an ambassador of Christ, it's really not my job to get involved in these politics, but I can see that in this world that we are currently living in, which is based on Jehovah's guidelines, is something to be considered when you think about why this world is in turmoil. Besides the fact there is a spiritual warfare going on, for people to benefit, and I can see this more and more clearly, is that they need to follow the rules of Jehovah in this world. Now, as a believer, though, this is a little bit tricky because we've been saved by grace. We are not of this world. Jesus said, "You are not of this world," but yet we're living in this world, right? We are sealed as a new creation. We are saved by God's grace. We are part of the family of God. Nevertheless, we are representing Christ on earth. Should I get involved in these politics? There are Christians saying, yes, you should, and you should vote for the one that reflects your beliefs. And that's okay. I'm not telling you what to do. Most of you guys are adults and should be able to work out yourself who you want to vote for or not vote for. But maybe there's a point in that, in voting for, if you are going to vote, for the candidate that represents or looks at what is more closer to your experience as a believer today. There's a lot of corruption going. I just wrote an article in my community commentary there, about the media and its role in the government outcome, political race outcome, and the narrative they are pushing. Now, you've got to remember, the media is now aligned. These constitutional media are aligned with certain politics, certain ideologies. And so you're going to get that narrative regardless of what you think the media is or their role is supposed to be. And I've likened it to the 10 toes of the image of Daniel. Iron and clay, right? They're just not mixing. Iron, I'm saying, represents like the media, the long established media, the institutional type style media organizations. They have aligned themselves to power brokers. Now, the government itself is a corporation. And so this is why it's very hard to distinguish between the government as being separate, where it's actually more in line with, because they're part of the stock exchange as corporate entities, than individual governments ruling the nation. They are in fact backed by shareholders, and those shareholders are having a big say in what they need to bring out in their policies. Even if they lie to your face, they're going to produce or bring in policies that reflect big corporations and their shareholders, basically, for both sides. This is both sides of the fence. And so as a child of God, we're in the middle of all this. Just remember, we are ambassadors for Christ. We're not taking sides with either camp, really. However, if you're going to vote, you vote for the one that you feel best reflects your beliefs as best as they can, right? My point about the Daniel prophecy is that, you see, I believe that the prophecy could be, and maybe has been fulfilled when that rock came down and crushed the nations when he died at Calvary, when Jesus died and was raised up. And now we're just seeing the fruitage throughout the time since then of the development of these toes and the clay and the institutions and the mixing. And we're starting to see grassroots individuals having a big say or strong following, and therefore not mixing in with the current establishments. And so they're like the thorn in the flesh for others. They're just some things I want you to think about as we go into this election. I'm not an American citizen, so it doesn't affect me, but it may affect you, how you're going to vote today. Just think about that as you go to the polling booths this month. Have a great day.